And I just saw an update. You were asking me, Alex. C.J. McCollum with an ankle injury is out tonight. And the Blazers have 8 players, and the Warriors have 9 players tonight.
Well, it's time for Simons to step up then.
This could be the Simons game. This could maybe be the Nasir Little goes for. You remember last year, Simons, it was like the last game of the year when they just basically rested everybody and put him out there and just said, you're going to go play 30-some-odd minutes, and he had 30-some-odd points.
Yeah, he had like 35, like 10 and 7 or something. It was a really great stat line.
Well, maybe Nasir Little sits and looks at this thing and says, all right, no matter how many shots I missed tonight, I'm going to be on the court. We only got 8, so I got a little bit of a green light tonight that I can put some up and miss them, and if I do that, I'm not going to come out. So maybe this is the night we see him or God, who else would be on who's like the 8th man for him? I'm trying to remember with the trade and losing the guys.
Mario
Hezonja.
Hezonja.
This could be Mario Hezonja playing for his next contract night. This could be.
He's the best dressed Blazer. Have you seen some of his pregame stuff?
Best dressed active Blazer. The Nurk and Collins have been looking awfully good on the bench, but this could be the night Hezonja says, I was the number 4 pick in the 2016 draft for a reason, and I'm going to show you tonight. So anyway, if you are around your radio tonight, Blazers and Warriors are on 7 o'clock here on KORE. All right, it is Super Bowl hype week. We are actually 2 weeks of Super Bowl hype, but this week is actually the hype week because at least next week we have teams on site and some things are happening. If you missed it yesterday, and I'm glad I'm not a gambler because I was telling people I don't think either of those games are more than 1-score games. I'd just take the 2 underdogs and think that both those games are going to be close. I think the Titans, the way they play, is going to keep a game close. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to keep a team in. I would have bet and taken the points on both the underdogs, and it wouldn't have gone well for me because as kind of was the national narrative, the 49ers destroyed the Packers, took a huge lead early and held them off, and then the Titans' little fantasy run here came to an end. So we are Chiefs, 49ers. It's a 1 point. I saw the Chiefs are a 1 point favorite. 13 days out. Alex, I know you've gambled a little bit in your life. If you had a Kansas City -1, where are you putting your money on January 20th?
I would take that. I would take Kansas City and lay 1 point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think this line's probably going to get closer to 2.5 before we get to the game. I think the big question will be whether it gets to 3. Obviously, that's the number that kind of turns everything, and then suddenly the money. So I think this thing probably settles at 2.5, and I think that's about right. I think, I look at Kansas City, and I like what they do, but also, man, I didn't get a chance to see a lot of their game. I was driving back from Seattle yesterday, but I got back in time to watch that Niners game, and I guess my question is whether or not the Raheem Mostert train can go one more week, and I know they're talking about maybe Tevin Campbell plays and Matt Breida in there, but I just – Derrick Henry, you can buy into kind of what he did. I'm just curious as to whether or not Raheem Mostert can put up another one of those on the biggest game.
I don't. Nobody saw that coming. 4 touchdowns in one game. So he tied the single season game record and he tied the playoff game record. And I definitely didn't see it coming at all because I didn't play him in any of my FanDuel lineups yesterday. So if Mosley apparently has a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
So it kind of just depends, but they're kind of a running back by committee team anyway. So whoever has the hot hand, and the thing with what I look for in this Super Bowl matchup, I think the Niners have the defense and they also have a very capable offense. The Chiefs are all offense, and they have a capable defense. So I think if the Chiefs get a couple scores really quick, and go up maybe 21-7, 21-10, I think the Niners will have a hard time catching them because they're a ball control offense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I've seen some people talking about, Derrick Henry had 8 yards rushing in the second half. And, first off, they were changing. But even the first half, he was, he was banging out about 4 yards a carry, but it was taking him quite a bit to get there. So now there's this thought that, Derrick Henry's nothing compared to Raheem Mostert and those guys. So the Chiefs have proven they can shut down the run, and now their offense will get out there. I'm not sure if I'm buying that one. I think that may be a little bit of a stretch. I think Kyle Shanahan's kind of knows his personnel, and he'll have them out there. And I don't think this is a game where, I don't see any way where the 49ers run away with it. I guess if it turned into what we used to expect, kind of these super blowouts, that it would be the Chiefs. But I also think Garoppolo has been in 2 Super Bowls. He hasn't played in them, but he's been through 2 Super Bowl weeks. He's been on part of 2 Super Bowl, actually probably 3 because they lost 1 too, but has won a couple. Mahomes is, basically second year as a full starter, and I do think you could have. I think Garoppolo should feel pretty comfortable in that, as opposed to maybe Mahomes.
I think that, Garoppolo definitely knows how to handle a media day. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with you on the Super Bowl. I mean, he's going to have some jitters. He said he didn't have jitters before the NFC title game, and my friends and I kind of laughed, but apparently it was correct because he looked great.
Well, he also threw the ball 8 times. So that's a good way to look great as a quarterback.
7 for 8, 8 for 8. The old Churchill High School offense in the early 2000s. They just run the ball 100 times and then do a play action and throw it for a 90-yard touchdown. No, I seriously think when all is said and done, I know it's early. I think it's the Chiefs' year, and I think the Niners are going to have a hard time stopping Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense. I really think it's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the key for them is obviously the pass rush. Their secondary is not great. I've enjoyed watching the Richard Sherman versus Darrelle Revis back and forth this week because Sherman's an interesting case. He keeps getting interceptions in the playoffs, and the hype keeps building, and people keep pointing out that, he's in kind of what I think Revis called him in a cover 3, where he's basically just being protected out there and kind of running, and the interception against Kirk Cousins the week before was kind of thrown right to him. So I think I'm not sure that Richard Sherman's the guy that's going to be taking Tyreek Hill or some of the weapons that that the Chiefs have there. But so that could be an interesting matchup.
Nobody can guard Tyreek Hill in the entire NFL. He's the fastest man in the NFL and the fastest man with cleats on, that's for sure. And he's even faster when he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and like I say, Sherman's been in kind of right place, right time things, it feels like there. All right, I'm going to let you take this from me.
All right, I got this. Don't go dying on me now.
Man.
No, so what I think the Chiefs are going to be very difficult to defend, like I said earlier. I think if the defense can give them anything, that would be a huge situation, because if they go up 2 or 3 scores, I mean, they're going to have a hard time keeping up or, coming back. That Niners offense is definitely not made to come from behind. And I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I'm used to watching ball control offenses get behind early and not be able to come back. So I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah, it will be a fascinating one to see. All right, I made it through an hour and 56 minutes, and suddenly minute 57, I was dying. So see if we can get through the last 2 here. I think it'll be a good match. I think this thing sets up to me as, the Super Bowl you want. Going into the fourth quarter, I think it's close, and not going to be in like a Patriots-Rams 10-9 type of close game going into the fourth quarter. I think this thing's 23-20 going into the fourth. I even think that whoever's got the ball last probably still has a chance to win. I think whoever's got the ball with 4 minutes left is going to be in a position to make a drive and get down there. So I'm excited for this one, and I think it's 2 good coaches. It's interesting. You got Andy Reid, who's been through this and trying to get one, and Kyle Shanahan, who I think we all look at and feel like is going to get one eventually there. But this feels like maybe the teams, the winner of this gets the first step in being the team of the 2020s. Both these teams with, Kansas City's going to have to give up some stuff to sign Mahomes, but Mahomes is going to be there for the next 10 years. 49ers got, obviously, with Bosa, and they'll keep Garoppolo around there, and, and they may lose some guys in the defense. But this feels like 2 teams that are kind of built to stay. This may be, by the end of it, when we get to the end of the 2020s, these are 2 teams that we're looking at and saying whoever won this game was maybe the team of that decade.
Regardless of the outcome of the game, I can't stress how excited I am that the Patriots aren't in the Super Bowl this season. The fans win. Seriously, it does not hurt to have the Chiefs, who haven't been in the Super Bowl since Super Bowl III, 1969 or 68, and the 49ers, who have one of the greatest fan bases probably in the NFL. And I know people would probably argue that because we're in Seahawks country, but it's a great matchup. It's the All Montana Bowl. Joe Montana played for both teams. That's not a fresh take. Everybody's been saying it. They have great color combination uniforms. The whole thing is just aesthetically appealing to me. Steve, what do you think?
Well, I think that people are really underselling Elvis Gerbach, who was also the quarterback for both teams, and Steve Bono. There was actually a run of quarterbacks who went Niners and Chiefs, and
the Niners had Young, Montana, and Bono all on the same roster.
And then the Chiefs took Montana, and they took Bono, and then after that, I can't remember which way Gerbach went, but Gerbach went between both of them too. So I think somewhere Elvis Gerbach and Steve Bono are pretty pissed off.